So here we have a few lines about the master. The master keeps her mind always at one with the Tao. That is what gives her her radiance. The Tao is ungraspable. How can her mind be at one with it? Because she doesn't cling to ideas. The Tao is dark and unfathomable. How can it make her radiant? Because she lets it. Since before time and space were, the Tao is. It is beyond is and is not. How do I know this is true? I look inside myself and see. Let's look at it again and see. The master keeps her mind always at one with the Tao. That is what gives her her radiance. Keeps her mind at one with the Tao. In the next line it says, if it's ungraspable, how can her mind be at one with it? And it says, because she doesn't cling to ideas. Interesting. She doesn't cling to ideas. That reminds me of a famous Zen saying. I don't remember who said it, but a Zen master said it. Don't seek for the truth, just cease or stop cherishing opinions. That is, I believe, points to the same inner state of disidentification from thinking. She doesn't cling to ideas. Cling to, it doesn't mean she doesn't have ideas, the master. But the master does not cling to ideas. And the Zen master, when he said, don't look for the truth, just stop cherishing opinions. He didn't say, stop having opinions, just as Lao Tse does not say, don't have ideas. He says, don't cling to ideas. And the other master says, stop cherishing opinions. So this clinging, which is the same as cherishing, is self-identification with thoughts that arise. In other words, you then believe completely in every thought that comes into your head. Amazing. You believe in it, that means you are it. That is self-identification with thinking. So, how then to be at one, always at one with the Tao? So simple. On the one hand, you could call it stop cherishing opinions. Now, any thought that arises ultimately is an opinion, you could say. Stop cherishing, stop your self-identification with that. Or don't cling to ideas, in the words of Lao Tse, or this present translation here. So that there's always a space between you and your thoughts, that you are, or rather, you are not the thought, you are the space for the thought. This is how I put it sometimes. You're familiar with that, and perhaps you, in yourself, you know it. You don't have to be in your thoughts, but you can be the space for your thoughts. Then no matter how weird your thoughts are, it doesn't matter that much. You don't say, oh my God, I shouldn't be having these weird thoughts. No, because that's another thought. I'm supposed to be spiritually advanced, and why am I still having these thoughts? There must be something wrong with me. Does that sound familiar? That's also thoughts. That's more thoughts that say, I shouldn't be having these thoughts, there's something wrong with me. And then you believe in those thoughts. Thoughts that judge other thoughts. That may sound familiar to some of you. And there's nothing personal in it, it's the human mind. So you don't need to eliminate thoughts or to say, I should only have pure thoughts because I'm a spiritual person. Because by now I should have transcended all impure thoughts. Well, then you're in a dilemma, because in this world of polarities, if you only want to have pure thoughts, you're creating the other polarity in the unseen. And sooner or later, the other polarity will come up from behind, creep up. And this has been done sometimes by Christians who try to practice the teachings of Christ without entering the state of consciousness out of which that comes. So they try to be pure and spiritual and good Christians and denied the other polarity, repressed it, and then suddenly they get overpowered by something deeply destructive and negative. So you have these occasions, you have a nice, wonderful person who always talks in spiritual, just so and spiritual. And before you know it, he's screaming at his wife, or even hitting his wife. Where did that come from? And he can't even admit to himself that this is what's happening. And so if you push away certain thoughts because they do not fit into the mental image of who you are as this or that, then they get to assume a life of their own. And before you know it, they invade your mind again, if only in your dreams, and suddenly you have dreadful nightmares. But during the day, you're such a spiritual person, and at night you suddenly have dreadful nightmares. Monsters come, or you become a monster. Oh my God, this shouldn't be happening. And that's because you're pushing something away. The true spiritual does not lie in one thought or another thought. It lies in being there as the space for your thoughts. Then it doesn't matter anymore, really. Whatever thought arises is no more than that. It's a form that arises at this moment. You don't resist it. You don't need to resist it. But you're the space for it. You don't become it. Somebody sent me a sticker to put on the car. I haven't put it on my car yet. A very wise sticker. I don't know where it originated. It says, you don't need to believe every thought you think.